Hello everybody, and welcome to SteakDora the Explorer's review, REL 1 and 2A in REBBL. This is week 7. That means that this week we are taking a look at a couple of games, and nobody really told us about any particularly exciting ones, so we're just going to pick ones, and if they're not very interesting, that is your fault, because no one told us to watch something else.
But also we picked based on the leaderboard because, you know, there were a bunch of really important games this week.
Yeah, we're halfway through the season, so some of these games at the top of the table are starting to matter, or some of the games that are taking place between the people at the top of the table are happening. So there's a couple of games that are fairly important in terms of standing, so we want to watch those ones, bar anything else, I think. I apologize if we don't get to your game, one of your games this season, but it's just very hard to do that while still staying relevant and watching reasonable games. So I'd rather watch something that's at least reasonable rather than like a pitch clear, because we've all seen a bunch of those before.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very tired and drinking a 10% beer, so let's go.
I'm drinking, well, I've drank, it's gone now. Cocktail made with vermouth and orange liqueur. It's pretty delicious. Yes, so shall we just go, I guess?
Yeah.
Well, the first game we're going to watch is from REL 1, and let us get into the game. And it's going to be Fellows Quaddadal by Not for Science and Grungy Desserts by Stouticus. I think we have watched both of these teams, or at least one of these teams this season. However, this is undefeated first place versus undefeated second place, if I recall correctly, as of the start of this season, or as the start of this week. Or no, sorry, Stouticus had lost before, but it's still...
It was first place versus second place, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. Not for Science, undefeated. Stouticus...
Apparently you predicted the Isles would win, and I predicted the Nurgle would win.
Really? That doesn't sound like a thing that I would do.
Why did I predict the Isles, or the Nurgle would win? Why did I not trust Not for Science?
Every time you do that, he doesn't win.
No. He every time I don't trust him, he's only won. Like,
yeah. Well, I said it wrong, but that's what I mean. When you don't trust him, he wins, and you're wrong. You lose because you're wrong.
Yes, I see. Well,
yeah, I said it wrong.
Either way, it's a contentious pick. I didn't think it was contentious, but apparently it was.
Apparently. Okay. Who did I pick again? The High Elves? Okay, go High Elves.
The undefeated Not for Science. I almost just spilled my delightful beer all over my keyboard, and that would have been... Oh, I think it's because we didn't have a contested pick, so we just made this one.
Oh, right. That's fair. Well, now we at least have someone to cheer for. Yep. Shall we? Are you at the setup?
Yep. Oh, sorry, they're already going. I'll pause. Here, you go ahead, and I'll go a couple seconds.
Okay, I'm going now.
Cool. Fellows Quaddadal has chosen to kick. Defending versus Elves is pretty standard, and the Nurgle have won the fan.
The High Elves have a Wizard and a Babe to play with this game.
Sensible.
Wizard's certainly very sensible, and a Babe is an easy way to spend a little bit of extra cash if you have some.
Yep, and he has no bench at all, so this is a bit of a dicey game. Has chosen to expose his, I guess...
Oh, so he must have induced a loner elf as well, because he's got a bench.
Oh, then yes.
Now the Nurgle gets to straight up punch right away, and with a bench of 1 against High Elves with armor 8, the Claw Mighty Blow is pretty useful, but we have 1 Claw Mighty Blow hit. We have a 3 die from just Mighty Blow, and we
got a Claw Palm Blitz, but I think I feel like Not for Science would probably foul an aggressive piling on.
That's a touchback. Give it to the Beast of Nurgle.
Yeah.
No, we give it to the person who makes sense to have the ball. That's boring. I mean, there's no strip ball, right? So the, sure hands doesn't matter too much, and there is a wizard, so you could have considered giving it to, just one of the Nurgle warriors, so it was really hard to, take it off of him. And then once you wizarded him, you could try to pick up with the ball carrier once he's been wizarded.
Push City so far.
But, it turns out it's going to be pretty difficult to score.
The beast before making the Claw Mighty Blow Blitz. Oh, the beast gets something.
Well, because I think he'd like to Claw Mighty Blow Blitz something slightly more important, and if he can go through the middle here, if he does that, yeah. On the Agi Armor 7 Elf.
Armor 7 doesn't matter, but he's sturdy anyway. Gets a 6. on a 7+.
So, as not for science, I guess what you do here is back off, get in the way, and look for the turn to use the wizard,
Yeah,
essentially.
he doesn't have the killer elf anymore, so his ability to like inflict any reasonable damage on the Nurgle is pretty much non-existent. So
It does have the leap
We're gonna
guard,
see
the leap
Fowler?
agi, and the strength piece, though.
oh, are we not fouling? That's kind of surprising.
What would we foul?
A loner?
The stunned loner?
Yeah, you're right. Fair enough. With no dirty player, that's probably not worth. Oh, he also doesn't have a bench. Stouticus is benchless. Ooh, dub skulls for the first roll of the game into a 1 in 9. The 1 in 9 is of course a success, so it's not all bad. But geez, what a way.
Well, 3 skulls and a both down as your first taste of the game is not really how you want to start.
Nope, is gonna be able to screen off here pretty easily.
Yeah,
Not
just
a lot
gonna
the Nurgle can do.
run away, get in the way, slow the Nurgle down a bit, try to force them to have to score on turn 7 or 8.
Oh, pass to the tentacles fails the dodge. Classic.
Yeah, and then look for the turn to use the lightning bolt. It's going to be all about slowing down the Nurgle, not taking too much damage, and finding the opportune moment, as it were.
Unfortunately, because he didn't get to dodge out on this side, there is a pretty big gap over here. Oh, though, Static is choosing to just go through the middle instead.
Here comes all apple pies.
Gets at least stun.
It's a KO.
Dong.
Pile it on!
He does have a babe. No, I mean, it's not.
No, if it was like turn 8, then yeah. But for now, he's just out.
Gets the beast involved. He can't move this cage up in the center, of course, because he would be
Is the beast
standing
moved?
on top of him. Yeah, the beast moved.
I'm surprised he left him there instead of going forward one to also get on the agi piece, or the leap piece.
Well, I think he wanted to cover this piece in the back here.
It's just a loner, though.
Yeah, but loners can stand up and blitz your ball.
Not from where he is very easily. He's kind of on all apple pies.
He's fine where he is.
And I'd be more worried about the leap,
also, the loner
leap
can
wrestle.
currently just do that anyway.
I'm more worried about the
currently
leap
there
wrestle.
is a leap. There is a leap 2 die on the ball.
Yeah.
A very, very. You don't even need this assist. That assist was.
He's not even doing it.
Oh, why wouldn't you take the leap 2 die on the ball? Poor K.
Well, you.
I mean, he didn't have any recovery, I suppose, but not. I mean, he could have gone in with this wrestle catcher. Actually, I don't know. That was.
Well,
Also,
I
just
mean,
getting the ball on the ground is kind of nice versus Nurgle.
yeah. The tentacles weren't in the way, were they? Like he didn't have to leap from the tentacles
No.
because he did blitz the tentacles guy. No, I think he would have had to leap from either one of the tentacles to do that.
No, because he moved that catcher to where he is now. He could have.
Yeah, which was
also
on the
just-
tentacles player.
Yeah, but he could just leap. I'm talking about the strength 5 leaper. He can just jump in. There's nothing stopping him from just jumping in there.
Yeah, but what strength 5 leaper?
Strength 4 leap. Sorry.
What strength 4 leap?
Oh, is that not leap? Oh, that's what I'm just being dumb about which pieces he has that actually have leap.
I'm really confused. The only
He
player.
could have had a 1 die with wrestle with a leap. I for some reason I thought this strength 5 catcher had leap. I think he used to have
Oh,
a
I
piece
see.
like that.
Maybe.
No,
Well, he had a
I
strength 5 guy that I killed. I don't think he had leap. But anyway,
Or not actual strength 5, strength 4. Another KO coming in here.
we're just going through the KOs right now. So far, things looking pretty good for Nurgle. They're just 2 KOs, but one of them is on the agi wrestle piece, which is one of the scariest ones. Like the agi to recover after the wizard is the scariest thing for the Nurgle here. And Rodder's just doing work apparently. I like the Rodder
He
spin
did
move.
follow that one up, so gave away that hit.
I like the Rodder spin move when he
You
attacks.
have a 2 die here into well, I mean, you'd have to commit pretty hard, but you could get even like a 1 die or even a red die to clear this corner piece off and then have a blitz on the wall. He goes for the red die and gets the result he needs.
Yeah, there was also just
He has to follow to make sure that he can get in here, but now he does have a straight 2 die on the ball.
Here we go.
That's not going to do it.
Reroll that
That is-
probably.
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do it.
Ooh, even gets an armor break. That's big because there's no good recovery piece for the.
The scatter went okay. Now we have blodge
gets a
step
piece
on the ball. Yeah.
Goes in for the pickup and fails the 3+. Doesn't have a reroll for it. Scatter is
Good.
pretty good.
I mean, it's okay.
It's going to be possible to clear this off pretty easily. It's going to be a frenzy hit onto Blodge, but he can get the assist in here, I think, to make this doable. He can also just blitz with all apple pies, of course.
You can just move the beast on the 2 players, block with the wrestle guy, and then blitz with all apple pies on the other one. I think he's just trying to scatter it. Nope. Maybe we're just defending for a turn and not bothering to pick it up until we can pick it up with the agi piece.
It's dangerous with this piece kicking around.
That is true, but the agi guy is gone, which is kind of the scariest piece for that. So
is a 2-die into a 2-die, but he does need a POW, which he does not get on the first block. Does choose to scatter the ball. Could have made this a red die. I might have gone for that over scattering the ball. I mean, I guess this works either way. But I think turning your opponent over there would have been nice.
Yeah.
Especially because it now lets the beast get involved, where otherwise this would have been... Still, that's a good scatter. Only 1 tackle zone. It is tentacles, so he does need to deal... Never mind.
Easy.
Nurgle will say, fuck you, that's my ball. Just by rolling all of the dice. All of the dice. What was that? I guess it was just a bunch of 3+.
It was a bunch of 3+, and yeah, most of them had dodge, and he would have just used a reroll for the pickup if he had to use it. There's a whole bunch of ways to play that turn. Like that was because of where the scatter went. It was relatively easy to get that.
Red die.
Oh, hello. I like all the red dice he's willing to throw. I mean, he has wrestle, so it's not terribly scary, but
yeah, that one. No, that one made a lot of sense. So this is going to be a 3+ pickup.
Got to get off tentacles first.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then 1 in 36.
Snake to dodge.
Into a KO.
Oh, jeez. That was a good turn for the elves that just went to shit.
Yeah. Oh, things are looking great for the Nurgle right now. And not despite the elves' best efforts, frankly. Not that Stouticus is playing poorly; he's playing fine. Just the elves have had a couple of opportunities that haven't worked out for them. But the last turn, like there was a million different ways to clear up that ball. It was pretty easy for Stouticus, and he was going to do it in some way, shape, or form. But the 1 in 36 there is pretty unfortunate.
Yes. I think he could have gotten the ball and gotten it out of tackle range pretty easily. And yeah, this lets the Nurgle reset. Not incredibly safely, mind you, but now that he's going to hit the last credible threat on the ball is this wrestle piece.
Well, other than the wrestle catcher who's been uphilling all game and is currently next to the ball on the floor.
Oof. Injury.
There's all apple pies doing all apple pies things.
Badly hurt, does not get appoed. Sensible. Oh yeah, the wrestle catcher is right there on the floor. Didn't even see him. So baseball, he's gonna have to... Oh no, he can't come in for a foul. Is this a... It's just a 2 red die.
Man, all the elves on the floor. We're wizarding.
Oh
and, no.
Wow.
Man. Oh my gosh. Wow.
What a turn.
Well, I mean, I feel maybe a little bit less good about watching this match now. There's been a couple of just awful. Yeah, no, like the top of the table match. It was pretty important to watch. The problem is you've got the ball on. This is a terrible, terrible problem to have. Your ball is on a Nurgle warrior, which is normally great, but this one's legend, so you don't really care about scoring on him. So do you give it to someone else? However, it's pretty safe in his hands. And who do you give it to? Another one out. That's just a loner, though.
Still, adds up.
Yeah. Well, we still
gone to shit real quickly.
I hope still have a 1-turner on the bench. Although the wizard the wizard being used is super unfortunate, though.
Yes, Not for Science very wisely saved his reroll for something other than a stupid dub skull.
Yeah, saving it for the 1 turn.
Reroll there. I mean, I guess he had 3 rerolls, 3 turns.
He's not doing anything else this turn. Yeah. I mean, man, if that wizard had gone a different way, and we could have just prevented the score from the Nurgle here, and then 1 turn,
and then the loner just falls over.
And kills himself. This could have been super different if that wizard had just been better.
Armor 8. What a joke.
Armor 8 is false. Well, we get to level the, or get SPP on Out Souffled.
Oh, Dub Skulls.
He rerolled into a Dub Skull.
Yeah.
It was a greed reroll for the punch, and rerolled it into Dub Skulls.
Scoring range with no GFIs, so it's not that bad.
And he's got a lot of recovery.
Not if Science could do something stupid here, and
he is.
Something tells me he is.
Leap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a 1 die. Do you reroll that? You do?
He does.
Snake.
Oh my god, not for science. Stop it. What are you doing? Stop rolling terrible dice.
Snake of the game, I think. And it's turn 8.
Oh my god,
turn
man.
7, technically. He's snaked a dodge, he snaked a GFI, and he's rolled 2 Dub Skulls. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Oh, all apple pies. Just a stun. And a KO.
Dong.
Gonna be some good KO rolls here.
Yeah. Well, let's hope there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 KOs out. We have a babe, so like we should get like, 4 of those, 3 of those. There's the touchdown from Steakmittens and Grungy Desserts, and now we get to see if fellows Kawadadal can engineer the 1 turn. Nice orc cheerleaders.
All the KOs come back.
Everyone! Okay, well there's your dice. They just came back to you. Too bad it's probably too late.
4, 5s, and 6s from that half.
Oh, 3s too, I guess. He has a babe.
Yes, but there were no 3s. He didn't need the babe.
Oh.
He rolled 4, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Nice inducement, idiot. Well, the downside about natural 1-turner versus Nurgle who know what they're doing are they do this instead of the backline thing. Which is, I understand I'm going to put some, tackle zones that you still have to run through. And no matter
blitz through, but yeah.
Well, okay, tackle zones you have to blitz through still, but there's also stink on every single square on the pitch.
Yeah, so you go in for one of these corner pieces, and it's only one stink, so it's a 2+ handoff.
Yeah,
or 3+ handoff.
But it makes it better than it's 3+ is significantly harder than a 2+, especially when you don't have a reroll.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I mean, it makes sense to do it this way. I think you actually probably wanted to put the Nurgle warriors the one that's here 1 square closer to the middle, and then just like make it impossible to go through the actual middle. Grungy Desserts gets a perfect defense.
Well, never mind. Enjoy.
Fuck you. Not for science in particular.
This is where you just take every stink and you just put it in range. Yeah. Does it have catch? Oh, it's a catcher. Of course it has catch. So there is a reroll, but it's a 1 in 9 with 1 stink on it instead of a 1 in 36 with no stink.
Yeah, but he could have put 2 stink, I think. 2 stink for all the sides, and then just built up the middle so that it was impossible for the elves to punch them.
There is now 2 stink and multiple sets of tentacles.
No, I meant the first setup, not this one. Of course works because the Beast of Nurgle is on the ball. I mean, it's not actually a done deal. He can totally still do this, and I think that Steakmittens could have made this a bit harder. Yeah,
it's we have a 2 die on the Beast of Nurgle like right now. The stink will still be there.
He's gonna leap the catcher over and red die. Nope, he's gonna fail the leap, and he's got no reroll. So,
well, you're ahead, so you spoiled it for everyone.
I think I would have gone for the 3+. He had a 3+ dodge instead of a 3+ leap, and the 3+ dodge. No, I guess he would have been in the way.
Well, despite the best efforts of Not for Science, doesn't manage to get that.
No, he is rolling like a chump,
so far.
Does have most of a team. He's only missing one player. It is a very good player, but it's not like the end of the world.
I mean, he could, if he's feeling spicy, he could just go for the one turn again, but I think that's a bad idea. Because then Nurgle have forever to score on you. It depends on how confident you feel in your ability to stop the Nurgle.
I think you go for the 2-turn, which is less risky.
If you still had the wizard, I would maybe consider that. Just because then you'd have the wizard for another defensive half. But without the wizard, it's super risky to try that.
We'll on some fat pals here at least.
1 stun, 2nd hit on the Rotter. He's okay. And a 3rd one. Rotter is totally fine.
Yeah, he is going to go for the 2-turn, I think.
Looks like it.
It's a bit scary because if you fail this blitz like a 1 in 9, you are stuck against tentacles.
Does not fail?
No. Because he has movement 3, this knockdown makes all the world of difference. So.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's not. No, he's not going for a 2-turn, I guess. Not great at picking up the ball, this elf team.
Not great at rolling not ones, this elf team.
They've succeeded at a pickup yet, though.
I mean, they've only made 2.
Has it only been 2?
I
mean,
think
that's still a lot of pickups to fail as elves.
that's very true. Fat Pow coming in for all apple pies and armor break.
At least a stun. Dong?
It's a dong. That's a penis.
All apple pie's gonna get himself smacked here, though.
I mean, that's a dong.
Ooh, really stupid. There is actually pretty helpful.
Thanks for the follow, Super Base.
That is one very based elf.
If you were trying to decide if that elf was based or not, you would say, yes, very.
Quite based.
Impressively based. Well, instantly fails a dodge.
Does he need to be making that dodge? I mean, I guess. No, not really.
Aha! All apple pies is not
apple pies, though, yeah.
is not going to have a turn of terror.
We can blitz this frenzy piece, which is the next best tackle. Okay, well, this one does not go down. Blodger is going to keep the frenzy piece busy.
He's strength 5 blodge step, so it's not trivial to get him out of the way.
Frees up a line elf to go after the ball.
Fails a 3rd time.
Christ. That's the reroll gone, so that's... Well, the ball is... Well, I mean, certainly not safe from being based. Well, Cannoli Azure is actually movement 3, so this is going to take a little bit of work to base it.
Yeah. Hey, really stupid. Stouticus can roll 1s too. Yeah, I was gonna say we probably just blitz this line elf out of the way, and then
we're gonna have to GFI probably twice to get onto the ball now.
Well, there's 1.
He's out of movement.
There's 2. And the Rotter can get there too, right?
Yeah.
No, he's just gonna base the elf. Okay. But that is block stand firm strength 4 on the ball. And we've seen that, you know, Not for Science can't roll a 2+, so he's probably not capable of rolling a 3+ either.
This could free up the strength to score this turn, though. Oh, and there's a 1-die skull into a 1-die skull. Turnover for Stout. Didn't think about the frenzy trap there, or thought it was worth the risk. One of the two. So, I would have gone. Oh, I guess there's untentacles, so we didn't want to risk it. Goes in for the Juggernaut hit, which makes a lot of sense. I like this.
Cancel the stand firm if you just get a push, and
pass to him with the thrower then if he wants to.
Yeah, the thrower is going to be doing the picking up, and we can pass to the catcher and then score if we want to, assuming he can pick it up. Oh, he got it. He picked up the ball.
Does not want to score this turn.
Got
to be wary of Stink, of course. Oh, goes for the 1 die, gets
That's
a
true.
stall.
Although we could have scored there with like a 2+2+, right?
No, because there was Stink.
There's not Stink on the sidelines.
Oh, is it not on the actual side? Oh,
No.
Yeah, you're right.
So he could have, and that catcher was not in Stink, right? Or I think he was here, which is not in.
Yeah, I think he was in one. No, yes, he was in 1 square of Stink.
Okay, so then it was a 2+3+ to score there.
No, wait, maybe 0. No, it was 0, I think.
It was either a 2+3+ or a 2+2+, both of which are not terribly difficult. So he could have scored
the catcher
there.
has a built-in reroll, but yeah. Well, both of them actually had built-in rerolls.
Yep. 1 in 36, 1 in 36.
This might be not for science playing for the draw rather than the win.
Yeah, just trying to stall out as long as possible.
Goes after the 1-turner, gets a POW. AV6.
Uh-oh. This 1-turner is pretty critical to turning this into a win.
KO'd.
He's safe, I guess, if that's
But
something
is the
you're worried
ball
about.
safe? How do you get up to this ball now?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think you do, but I also think it doesn't really matter.
Last turn.
I think the scoring last turn would have been better, because now it's going to be a 4+ catch with a reroll built in, which is not, not impossible. Certainly, 75%.
Yeah, Nurgle had a really good turn though, so that's definitely not helping. Goes for a blitz on this piece, which I think makes a lot of sense. Gets him, no, doesn't get him down because dodges this. Okay, he's gonna try to screen off, I think. Actually, I don't know what he's doing. Gets him at a stink and is now gonna throw the ball to him.
We might be giving him the ball now. That's instinct without a fails the GFI. If you 1 in 36 this, I'm going to stab you.
3+ pass
There we
is
go.
good. 2+ catch is good.
Okay, so we got
now,
the ball.
Of course, this is not safe for you.
Well, he's strength 5.
It's a 2+ 1 die. Or no, you can 2+2+, 2 die it.
I only see
you are
one.
POW fishing, of course.
I think. Where do you get a second assist?
You only need 1. He's got horns.
That's 5. Oh, he's not strength 5. He's strength 4. Derp.
Yes, we keep misquoting his strength.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a 2 die with wrestle. I thought he was strength 5 for some reason. I was assuming he was going to go like this, but he used to have a strength 5 guy, which is why I was assuming that this guy was strength 5. Yeah, like
an extra 2+ for the wrestle part. Fails the GFI though.
So now we don't have a reroll for the block.
Or both down.
Yeah, there's the POW.
No break.
Scatter's okay.
Scatter's not in any tackle zones, so better than okay, I think. Oh,
well, the Nurgle can't really get there unless
2+2+, no reroll. Easy game, easy life. Good scatter for the Nurgle.
Yeah. That was that. Like, I like the fact that he drew the players over to this pitch, the side of the pitch,
because you can blitz through and then pick up the ball,
and then came back, and still got the ball to him. And this is just wasting turns, and he's still pretty likely to score. So I think this is working out. But
well, he doesn't want to tie. Oh, and he fails to pick.
1 in 36 to pick up.
1 in 9.
Oh, 1 in 9. Yeah.
In fact, roll a 2 into a 2. So.
Stop it. Stop. Failing pickups.
You pick up the ball once, Ben. That's OP.
That's all you need is to get it once, right? We're playing Khemri here. Just get it once. That's all that matters. Squish, squish, squish. Well, can we all apple pies him? No, but we can all apple pies somebody else.
We do, because all apple pies has been rolling pows.
Yeah, and if that was if that is
on, even though he's covering the ball,
he's got other players in the ball.
Oh, that is stunned at least.
It's an injury.
Ooh, it's dead.
There's the Apo.
That's a bold Apo.
Well, it was a strength bust on his thrower.
Yeah, but it's not a very important player.
No.
Archangel would have definitely let that player die.
Probably. I like that with all apple pies. If you get a POW, you can just pile it on. If you don't get a POW, you can
Whoa, that was a good graphical bug.
You can surf him afterwards. You just gotta push. Wah! He just like went through the rotter and then surfed his way backwards.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And it's also pretty easy for him to get the ball in the hands of big hand Agi for sure hands.
Yes, though this is a 3+.
Nope.
He's gonna go for the wrestle head and Jesus Christ. He wanted to score, so he didn't want to go in with the strength piece.
Yep. Well, I mean, in hindsight, maybe we should have scored on that first turn forever ago, or second turn. But
bold foul on all apple pies.
It is hard to make that choice, frankly. But aha, dong
gets a 9 into a 9. Exactly what he needs.
Perfect.
That was pretty funny.
So he can roll dice when it comes to recovering from KO and from when it comes to fouling. Everything else he does is not useful.
Gets the wrestle he needs to take this guy down.
Could have also just surfed that rando lineman, but
we might see a dirty player foul coming in here on this big strong boy.
Nope.
Nurgle only have 3 turns to score, which is a challenge given how far away from the scoreline they are. It's not really. This Pestigore can make it pretty easily. He's going to need to throw some GFIs, but not that many.
Well, the movement 8 Pestigore can also definitely make it.
Yes, with a 3+ handoff. No fouls. Staticus, what a gentleman.
Man, this game could have easily gone the other way, and like if the Wizard Scatter didn't go that way, if we were capable of ever picking up the ball, if we didn't lose two blitzes to tentacles.
I mean, it is like more than 50% of the time you fail that, so.
Yes, I mean, it's just insults to injury.
Yes. He couldn't get much going his way, to say the least.
No.
And I think that one kind of judgment of error, or error of judgment, I should say, to not score really cost him, but in a game that was already going this.
Yeah, and that's a hard decision to make, right? Like, you really want to like not give your opponent that many turns potentially.
I threw my clan game this week by like not choosing to score when I should have, so
yeah,
it's easy to do.
It's a pretty hard decision to make when you have the opportunity to score, but you think you can probably waste another turn if you want to or not, and whether it's worth the risk. And sometimes it works, and sometimes you get punished, and it's always a really, really hard choice. I know I've spent like a minute just sitting there deciding if I wanted to score or not, much to the probably annoyance of my opponents, because I'm one of those slow people that people don't like. But I've definitely sat there and debated, like, out loud to myself whether I wanted to score or not. I mean, that's another part, I guess, of why I'm slow, is because I stream literally every game, so I sit there and explain what I'm thinking about the whole time, and that takes longer than just thinking about it.
The elves are just giving up. They can't get to the ball. Makes a lot of sense.
Yep, time for punching.
The wrestle piece on the way and running away. That will be game.
Yep.
2-0, barring a snake.
Hey, look, a failed dodge into a KO.
Yeah, it actually doesn't need to take a GF, I don't think so. Nice.
Nope.
I could go for the handoff. I mean, yellow lid brownie. No,
he's just gonna take
choose
it.
to risk the 1 in 9.
Wants to wants to take the TD
I guess
differential.
The one turner is still around. Well, no, because he wouldn't have had a shot at it. Never mind. So that is game number 1.
Yep. Could have, yeah, I mean, touchdown differential, I guess, is probably a thing, especially when you're at the top of the table, so I didn't blame him. But I also guess it depends on if the 3 SPP would have done anything for the wrestler or the frenzier. MVP and Angry Churro levels in, which is kind of exciting.
73% for dodges, 45% for tentacles is probably about average for strength 5/10 to strength 3, which most of the tentacle rolls were. Armor was terrible. Kales were great. Dodges were pretty bad, but not. Mostly just like the fails happened in clusters, so the dodge skill didn't really save him a lot.
I mean, 1 successful pickup of 6 when most of them are 2 pluses.
I was getting there. 16% on pickups. Well, several of them were 3 pluses, but
still.
Even then it was terrible. Grungy Desserts, on the other hand, looking pretty good. Great GFIs, something you don't see out of Nurgle very often. Great dodges, too. 100% of dodges.
Yeah, most of the ones he made had dodge or were with the Agi 4-2 heads guy, but still, yeah, 6, like...
Well, having dodge doesn't affect the dodge stat.
No, I know, but I mean, you're more likely to make a dodge when you have the dodge skill. It's like, I haven't used dodge yet, I can make another one, like, kind of thing. So that's why it's...
Rough game for Fel with Quad at all, for sure.
Yeah, let's bring up the title screen so I don't spoil nothing when we go into
our second game. Ugh. Fed versus Spoopy. Another pretty big game.
Yeah, this one wasn't contentious, was it? I guess you were right about the last game.
I was right about the last game, though I don't know why I predict that. We predicted the rats would beat the lizards.
All right. Back to Blood Bowl. We were thinking, as of last week, we were very excited about the Luminous 2 Awesome game, but if you Luminous streamed it, and if you watch that, you'll understand why we're not watching it now.
Yes.
And you'll see that in the results later. But, you know, it ended up with Luminous having 2 players on the field and quite literally nothing you could do. So it was fun to watch some of it because Luminous was like very luminous and totally immune to salt and just like, I've got 2 players. Well, I could still do this if like this set of dice happens, and then he tries it, right? Like, it's fun. I certainly appreciated that. It was cool to watch, but like probably pretty frustrating and not very entertaining. There's Glart and Fezglitch, who is a goblin when he's supposed to be a rat, but you know, that's fine. There's only 1 model. I like the goblin chainsaws that are supposed to be like Chaos Warriors or Dwarves or whatever.
Yes. Ridiculous stat lines.
Yeah, it was an interesting game to watch, but I don't know if it'd be an interesting game to cast.
Yes, I predicted you would win 2 Awesome, so you know, grats on pitch clearing win.
Did I also predict that?
No, you didn't.
Why didn't I do that? Well, like
you loved Lumi too much.
Every time I am surprised by my picks last week and wonder why I did them. Oh, right.
Oh, you've already started.
No, it's fine. I'll go back to the start. 3, 2, 1, go.
Looks like the rats chose to kick, which is pretty standard rat stuff, and the fan factor went to the rats, who have a wizard.
Oh, it's doing the weird thing with the coin flip. Whatever, just go to the bathroom. You'll figure it out when you get back.
Cool.
He's setting up now. Yeah, the rats get to go first. The rats have gotten Glart, so using the claw block, strength 4, just to try to do even like claw against armor 9 is sort of stun machine territory, but even just stuns against the Saurus is pretty useful because the rats are so fast that like if we can stun a Saurus, that'll potentially open up a hole, give us a chance to just run away from everybody else. And skinks, while fast enough to keep up with gutter runners, are not particularly exciting at like doing things like punching the ball. Keeping the Fezglitch off the field, which I think is a good idea, considering we have no bribe. You want to use him on offense when you can get the most out of him. The downside to this is that if the rats, or if the Saurus get a couple 3 rat removals, he'll be, or 2 rat removals, I guess, he'll be forced to field him, and if they score on like turn 7 or whatever, turn 8, and then the rats we'll be forced to field them and then get them sent off instantly, which could be a problem for the rats, depending on how the half goes. Loner line rats taking their blocks. No armor breaks yet, but we also don't have any like mighty blow hit because we didn't do or we did one, and we didn't block with the Croxagore. I would have considered trying to get a 3-die with the Croxagore. He's block, and an extra mighty blow on armor 7 is pretty good. And even if he boneheads, it doesn't really matter this turn. And then the you could have just blocked with the other strength 5 afterwards. It's just like a free mighty blow hit on armor 7, and you're probably not going to get that many more. And removing 2 players is a good way to nullify one of his inducements. Well, Proxy Page does not have Claw yet. I thought there was a Claw gutter runner on this, or Storm Vermont on this team. Is he just out for this half or this match, like MNG'd or something? Oh no, there's a new one. Oh, maybe I'm spoiling things. I think this guy levels and then gets gets Claw. That's a spoiler from listening to the podcast and hearing Superfed talk about it. Oops. Well, pretend that didn't happen. We still get to palm things. This guy is going to be a massive skink pain in the butt until well, if he gets a chance to hit him with the skink. We do get to knock over the Croxagore, which lets the Gutter Runner get away from Prehensile Tail. We can also just foul him with 30 player, which we are going for. Croxagore out is one of the few sources of Mighty Blow, and the Block Guard Stand Firm, Prehensile Tail, it can be pretty annoying, especially against like the Agi 3 portions of this team. To 1-die the Eric the Red-Bellied. Random Line Rat. Breaks Eric the Red-Bellied. Instant stand up from the Croxagore. That's pretty much all they can do here. We get a block here, and we get a block here, and then we get a blitz out of Nick Boa Tesla, which is a fun name. Ruth Gator Ginsburg is also a good one. Oh, we are just going for it. Spoopy is unafraid of the 2 heads wrestle tackle. Diving tackle is a thing though. So we could just, I mean, we could also just go in from the front here. I mean, turns out Agi 5 doesn't really care about the 1 tackle zone. Like, this is a 3+ with it's a 1 in 9 to, we have a 1 in 9 to 1-die wrestle tackle the skink if we wanted to here. I don't know if we will. It's kind of awkward. But it's certainly an option. But Superfed is probably not very worried about the ooh, the KO is nice because the lizards have no bench. Superfed is probably not too worried about the lizards scoring because he can score on his own. And we sort of become 2-1 grindy afterwards. But there is an option if you wanted to try that here. I mean, it goes. We just KO'd the Croxagore, which is a big deal.
Lizards are fast scoring, it looks like.
Yeah, they set up for a fast score, and then they put the diving tackle guy in kind of an awkward place where if Superfed wanted to, he could just cage dive this, and he is. Yeah, I mean, it probably would have been better to maybe just put the diving tackle on the Gutter Runner that was planning on doing this. Means he probably gets punched, but it's very difficult to defend against Agi 4 2 heads. With just like a sideline cage like that, without a diving tackle. Leap over and recover.
But the dodge out does not work. Well, it was a dodge off diving tackle, so.
It was. We rolled a 1 anyway.
A 1 into a 1?
No, we rolled a 2 into a 1.
The 2 would have done it. Or no. It was a 3+. No, it was an agi up guy, so it was a 2+ dodge otherwise.
Yep. Diving tackle is what did it.
Fez glitch going down a mighty blow and going out.
And by that you mean Glart Smash Rip.
What did I say?
Fez glitch.
No, that's the other one.
Fez glitch is on the bench. Oh, Glart out and having not done anything really so far. The
Well,
claw.
not so far. Just period. He's done.
Yeah. Well, the claw is.
Ooh, sure feed fail.
Oh, are we gonna go for the second one? I think we have to. No.
Not though.
Well, we have another 2+ into wrestle tackle 1 die.
I think he's gonna throw this skink in the way, sort of. Yeah. Can hit him.
Okay,
Ooh,
now
gets
it's
the fat pow.
now it's at 2+2+. But we do pow him.
Yeah.
It's still a 2+2+.
A 3+. Oh, it's 2
He's
heads.
2
right?
heads.
That's fair. Needed the break there. He's sidestep though, so surprised he didn't go with the strip.
Yeah. This way it gets to be a 2 die with wrestle tackle though, which is slightly better.
Sidesteps onto the goal line.
Without
Doesn't
the ball
get
though.
armor broke.
Rat
That's
has the
coming in
ball.
here. Yeah, and now we're screened off. Gonna take a 1 die from the floor probably, but rerolls the dodge out with the killer. Gets him out.
This is certainly interesting so
Oh,
far.
okay, so he's putting him over on the skinks. So there's no recovery for the rats. Or for the lizards, I should say.
Not an easy one anyway.
They can get a 2 die on this guy, but it's making it more dice, certainly.
Well, yeah, and that's generally the when your
I
opponent
think we're
is.
gonna see the Storm Vermin come in on a 1 die, yeah. And he gets the wrestle, which is good enough, actually. No, I guess it does free up this. It frees up this Saurus, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
The Saurus can
not do much useful.
He can blitz this gutter out of the way, and so you can get diving tackle on. Well, you can get diving tackle onto the ball either way, I guess.
Does the rat doesn't have that sidestep? No. So I mean, you could just blitz the.
Rolling a lot of pows on dodge, must say.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
and
mean,
an injury.
oh, Megan Rain is injured. So we can put just diving tackle on the ball, but it's relatively easy for like. I mean, it is sidestep, but we can probably.
Fed Appos that there. That makes sense.
And probably just block.
Well, you now punch with a loner, but this is a little risky because if you don't get a knockdown on this guy, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, he's got a 3+ to hit the guy off.
Injury on the skink.
And you give him a free Kaz.
Yep. I don't like that block.
I don't hate it. It didn't. If he got lucky and got a knockdown, it was fine.
So
failing didn't change anything really. Because now Fed still has to dodge out. Oh, he's gonna knot and Dubskull.
I mean, he can just blitz with the loner.
Yeah, but he needs a POW. That's the problem. He needs a POW. Or he could just dodge off, like.
I mean, it's 2 heads.
Yes. So it was a 3+. Run into space. Makes sense.
I feel like it was probably better to just try to 1 die the ball from the floor. Like, when the just 3+ with a 1 in 9 off is an option. Like, technically it could fail, but you're more likely to put it on the floor with a 1 die against wrestle with.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the. Oh, I guess there was. No, he had a break tackle hit on the ball here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was a 2+, 2+.
Yeah.
Had to make a block with this rookie first, but a push was good enough.
This game is going very fast. There's a lot to talk about, but it's going very quickly.
This is obviously not... Okay, so that helps. Though, if he can get a rat in behind to take away this assist, he can just try to 1 die...
His way through.
Push his way through this guy. Saurus dodge not working, even though it was break tackle. Rerolls, snakes it. And breaks armor and stuns himself. Good Crocs. That's actually my... Or Saurus, rather. That's my experience with Strength 5 break tackle pieces, too. Who goes for the wizard here and sizzles.
Rip.
That is painful. Incoming. This guy goes to clear this one off. Does get him off.
And now we're back to a 3+ dodge instead of a 4+, and there we go.
Was that a 3+? Yes.
Well, diving tackle.
Yeah. Ooh, fails the GFI though. Did he need to take that? I guess to get out of blitzing range for that guy. Is he gonna snake it? He is.
Yes. What the fuck is this game?
Back-to-back snakes. Will he break himself? No. So that's not really that much of an inconvenience for the rats. The skinks can't get to it. The lizards can technically get to it with a Saurus, but...
I feel like you just try to pick it up with the Saurus. I mean, like, it's probably not going to work, but if you just mark it, that doesn't do anything either. Or can the skink get there? No.
The skink cannot.
I, like... Oh no, a 3+ pickup? What am I ever gonna do?
Yeah, you raise a good point. It might scatter backwards into 2 tackle zones, actually.
I think picking it up is probably better. Right now, we have
that is diving tackle, though, so it is
It's, as we've seen, it's a 3+ with a reroll.
Yeah, but 1 and 9s happen. Now he's giving him 1 and 9 options. Another dub skull. Chooses to reroll it, which I think was a huge mistake, actually. Because this skink isn't doing anything. Sure, he would have gotten surfed, but that was his last reroll. If the rats score here, which is pretty likely, then you're now going into your drive without a reroll.
Yep. Mark up the skink.
Mark up the skink.
No, I just feel like it's one of those situations where, like, it's really unlikely for the Saurus to, like, pick up the ball, but you, like, if you don't pick it up there, it doesn't matter because, like, the rats are just going to do it anyway. It's like the only way you get out of that situation is by doing that thing, and if you don't, then the rats score anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Hey, look.
Oh, fails the pickup though.
Oh.
Rolled a 1, in fact, so it would not have mattered. That said, neither team has a reroll now. And Fed has made this a little bit annoying. Chooses to scatter it out, which is bold versus rats.
Scatters out, and out again.
Okay, so that is pretty good for... I guess that's pretty good for the lizards.
They can get it on the agi piece, but they can't really defend it very well.
No, they can't. But can the... They can get it away from... They can get it away from tackle, at least.
That's true.
The gutter runner would have to run... I think he can outpace the gutter runner with sure feed as well.
There have been, like, so many opportunities for both teams to score so far, and it's so weird that neither of them have yet.
Yeah. Okay, so the ball's going here. Because this is Spoopy saying, I'm going to try to score on you.
That's the scoring threat.
Yeah.
That's a second scoring threat.
So this is a 3+ for a 2 die on the ball.
With
the loner.
Can you do it with the storm vermin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You can with a 2+, 2+?
Yes.
And he immediately fails the GFI. Fed's dice have been Akko Taco. So this is very likely a lizard score now. They should be able to cage this up. Oh no, they have to do a handoff this turn. Right, it's turn 8.
It's turn 8.
This was the lizard's drive though, so this wouldn't be all bad except the rats used their wizard, which of course makes this very bad.
The lizards are probably relatively okay with not scoring and using the wizard, but they do get to score. Stupid little skinky boy with his dumb crossy eyes scores. Lizard Nardo da Vinci. Now we get to see if the Croxigor comes back, because him going out is a pretty big deal. The Gutter Runner stays out. And the Crocs is returned. That's handy.
We have another shot at it, so it's not yet, but yeah.
That's,
does he have to field Fez Glitch? He does.
He does, and I talked about that earlier, is that if the lizards got like 1 or 2 removals that stayed out, then the rats were forced to field Fez Glitch, and he gets exactly 1 turn with him, which is super awkward and non-ideal. But
he paid very little for him because he has a bribe stadium. But,
yeah, and he's not Fez
Beholder.
isn't incredible versus lizards. It's not terrible to get like a 1-die with Thesaurus or like even an uphill with block, and he doesn't have block. He does have foul appearance, but it's not that hard to get rid of Fez Glitch as a high strength team. And he doesn't get like free 3-dies against the strength 4 like he would against strength 3 teams, which is kind of his
Yep.
his jam. Well, are we gonna try to? We're gonna try to 1-turn.
Oh, we're gonna try a 2-turn.
Oh. Well, we get 2 turns with Fez Glitch. So what do I know? Nothing.
Yeah, you do know nothing, buddy.
Jon Snow.
We might try to 1-turn anyway.
Looks like we are.
Ooh, even gets the POW. Doesn't need it, of course.
Just
but...
a push, but or isn't
gets
just a
break.
push is needed.
Random Lino gets a KO.
Good job. Not only do we get to 1 turn, we get to KO a Saurus. Are we gonna try the blocks with Fez Glitch before we just go for the touchdown? I mean, you don't have a reroll, but you don't really want to give yourself more options to fail things. We go for it. Here we go.
Look, he's only got 1 shot to blow. The soup opportunity comes.
Once in a lifetime, you did some.
Well, I mean, that's not a terrible place for Fez Glitch to be. He's at least in the way.
Yeah, if you decide not to 1-turn, he's at least helpful there. Well,
Those are the paths and Fez. Hey, random loner. That's terrible.
Hey, this one loner rat is very capable of rolling dice.
Wait, why is that a turnover? I thought it was not a turnover as long as someone caught it.
Because he tried to pass.
If you fail a pass, it's automatically a turnover?
Yes.
Because it's not if you try to hand off or something. So is it just the pass action causes the turnover?
Well, when you fail an action, you turn over.
No.
An action that you tried to do deliberately.
No, because handoffs. If you hand off to someone and they fumble it and someone else catches it, I thought it was a...
Yeah, but you succeeded a catch action, right?
Right, but not on the player you attempted it on.
I don't know if that matters. I think it's just the only time that occurs.
Fez Glitch causes a 1 in 9.
Good job, Fez Glitch. You helped.
Yeah, helping. This guy's not guard, so he's not really doing much right now.
Oh, we get to hit him. We don't have any claw, though, so it's not terribly exciting.
A little birdie told me that this game resulted in Superfed getting claw.
Yeah, I spoiled that. I was like, I thought you had claw somewhere. And like, oh, right. This Storm Vermin levels this game and gets claw. Oh. Well, he's dead.
Yep.
How about a skink? I mean, it's a good skink, but... Fuck you! That loner has done this twice now. Oh my god, what a monster! I had a zombie that did that to me multiple times in a game once, and I was so mad about it that my girlfriend drew me this picture, which is a picture of a zombie being very pleased that he caught the ball, and me being very angry because he kept fucking catching the ball and I didn't want him to, because it was one of those situations.
Fed is not actually in chat right now, and I'm really upset.
Little picture of a zombie that says, I catch it. I'm like, good job, zombie. Like, yeah, well done. That stupid fucking loner catches the ball twice. Oh my god.
I need to find out that player's name. I need to bug Fed about it.
I'll just like back up a couple turns and see which loner it was. He's gonna get MVP now.
Oh, and the source gets back up 100% on KO rolls for Spoopy.
So far. Yeah, the loner's also got random removals too.
Rip Fez.
Is it Nurg form cutter?
I think it was.
Or was it?
I think it was Nurg form cutter. I'm like almost certain.
He's also got a couple rando removals, yeah. I wonder if we can see that if I go to What was the other one that it could have been?
I can just go look at the game for the impact players because I think it would. Both teams get extra rerolls.
I think I think he's gotten 2 removals as well, which is really funny. Hey, we failed a catch. Rerolled to get it though. Fed, looks like we're electing to quick score here and just go right back on defense, which is very Fed-like.
And no, it makes a lot of sense in this case, I think.
It certainly does.
Chooses to move his DP, not potentially fouling this strength 5 break tackle. I think that's a bit of a mistake.
He wants to make sure there's a screen.
Screens are for losers.
Correct. Only cage all the time.
I was talking about your cage fetish the other day. I don't remember why.
I'm way less bad about it now than I was as a rookie, but as a rookie, yes, always cage all the time.
Only cage. No catch, only throw.
No take, only throw.
Goes for a smack on the skink with 2 GFIs. Bold move, doesn't get it.
I'm also less bad about rerolls too.
Yes, sometimes you will grade things, and I am negligibly proud of you.
Thank you. Bonehead on Croctorphil, which is a great name.
Positioned like this and had to give up a block, unfortunately, on this loner to prevent the break tackle guy from doing things.
Yeah. I like making sure to get a Mighty Blow hit on a relatively important player there. There's only 2 Mighty Blow on this team, and most of the rats are armor 7, so I think it's pretty important to try to maximize those. And one of them is a
Mighty Blow hit on the killer does not get anything done.
Nope. We get to put skinks in the way. Kinda.
Yeah, man, you can double screen this.
Lizards are so fast, and that's so cheaty.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm playing Khemri this week in Clan, so...
Why? Oh,
yeah.
Are playing versus Khemri.
Yeah.
I thought you meant as Khemri. I'm like, why would you play as Khemri? Hello, A. Or his Divius.
Goes in for a hit on the stand firm instead, because he just needs to break through here, because this gutter runner is too fast, too furious.
Crunch.
Pile this on.
Big old crunch. Why would we pile it on?
Don't pile it on. Piquant. Crunch. Oh, he's out.
Gone.
Mighty Blow.
I'm ahead, but that's fine. You can just skip the touchdown dance. Fun thing that I learned earlier today, and by earlier today I mean yesterday, the cyanide being cyanide only counts forward and backward progression as running yards. So those like run along the side things that people do, like to quote, build up running yards, don't, because that left and right movement is completely ignored for that.
That's
it's
wonderful.
So if you want to do that, you have to go forward, like you have to do zigzags, or you have to like go back 4 squares then forward 5 squares as the gutter runner.
It works in hand egg too, like only moving forward and backwards count.
Yes, that's true. But there's no benefit to being on different sides of the field in hand egg. American football. Because like whenever there's turnovers and downs and stuff all the time, and those, whenever you start play over again, the ball just gets moved to the middle of the pitch anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But running yards matter in things like Imperium, where there's an achievement for running yards.
Can't you just run straight backwards and then run forward again, or does it only count
you can
position? You
can do that, but like if you just run sideways along the LOS and then go in, it doesn't do anything. It's only 1 square forward because you went 1 square forward.
Oops, not maximizing his blocks here.
We did get a stun from one bony boy, Eric the Red-Bellied, on proxy page.
Gets a Mighty Blow hit here on... Or not Mighty Blow, just a random hit. Doesn't need the Mighty Blow. He is Stundorino. All right.
Got the
Don't
ball.
like this. Did not
Neither do I.
cover up. Like, could have, like, kind of half-based. Like, and that works because he's lizards, and there's, like, nothing bad's going to happen. But
this
could
is
have gone a little bit more...
This is just a 2+1 die.
Correct, yes. I keep forgetting 2 heads is a skill. It's not a 2+, it's a 3+, but yes.
3+. 3+. It's a 1 in 9 into a 1 die on the ball. Which, like, any reasonable team in their right mind will take every time. Like, I will take a 1 in 9 to 2 die the ball, or like one die the ball with wrestle tackle.
Gets the stun, doesn't catch the ball because he's not a loner. 2 heads. Yeah, right. I hate gutters. They're so dumb.
Yes, I have 1 gutter in Imperium, and he's basically won every game I've ever played just because he's movement 9. Like, cool, bye. Like, gutters are stupid.
Yeah, like there was a game this season where I 4-0'd Kislev, and people were like, "Wow, that looks like some rat BS." And like the riskiest thing I did all game was like a 3+ dodge. It just turns out when you can move the ball 18 squares on a 2+ in a turn, you can score a lot if your opponent gives you the ball.
Yeah.
Ooh, goes for 2 hits on the 1-turner and does not get him down. The rats now very securely have this ball. They don't have a scoring threat. Well, they do, but it's a storm vermin, which, I mean, it's a 3+. They can do it, and the lizards are not really doing much to stop it. So now this is a 2+. Okay, that helps a tiny little bit. You can now blitz. You can just blitz through with the 2 heads gutter, which I think is what he's gonna do. Oh no, he goes with the wrestle strip piece.
Well, and then we just 2+ dodge
I guess you
off.
don't want to blitz with wrestling, yeah. But that would have gone through with the tackle.
Give it to Amy Brooke.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's got 2 heads. He can just run through these tackle zones. He doesn't give a shit.
Here we go. Wants to level the storm vermin real bad. Doesn't roll
really good.
Does not roll the GFIs this turn though. No reason to.
No, the
frankly.
skinks can get one of the skinks can get to you, but like, what's he gonna do?
Uphill.
Red die you. Rats are the ones who red die.
I got red dyed. Double power red dyed after a 4+, 3+, 2+, 2+, 2+.
Gets a tackle onto the ball too, and comes
in
in for a
Imperium
foul.
today.
This is bold. I like it. Gets a stun, doesn't matter. Ooh, and dodges out. Great rat turn. 2 great rat turns in a row.
Yeah. Mark up everybody with the Crocs.
I guess this is enough in the way. Well, it doesn't matter because the rats are going to score this turn. But
There's nothing you can do as the lizards here to stop this. You can aim to get punches, and this is where you do the bash team stall prevention of, if you don't score, I'm going to kill you, rather than if you don't score, I'm going to stop you, and just mark.
Well,
out
I mean,
players
he
with
is
the
sending
Crocs.
a wrestle skink out as a credible sacking threat, which it is sort of.
It is, yeah.
For some values, incredible.
There's also Mighty Blow and your couple of your gutter runner, your dirty player. Oh my god, I'm just thinking about Imperium things now. This is so much fun.
Wait, why didn't he base?
So he didn't want to get punched?
I would have based the blodge step.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, he would have gotten tackle hit, but I think he's going to get tackle hit either way, to be honest.
See,
correct. This is a bit bold because on a failed hit here, doesn't matter. But on a failed hit, he could have sidestep onto the ball.
That's true, but then we get another block.
Anyway. Yeah, but then you can't score.
Is he going to score this turn?
No, clearly not. Stalling this out another turn. I don't know about that. You're gonna give the lizards 2 turns at this rate. and lizards are really good at 2-turning. I would think you'd rather
give them the option of 3 and see if you can steal it from them.
Yeah, or see if you can force them to 2-turn and not 1-turn, or in not 2-turn rather.
Yeah.
Sorry, or not 3-turn. So like make it a bit harder for them potentially. Ooh, gets a Kaz on the dirty player, gets sent off, but that is a big deal.
1 for 1.
Well, it means there's no nearly natural 1-turner for the lizards, so
that makes the 2-turn way harder.
Yeah, and with the Agi 4 out, actually, that's his best ball handling skink's gone.
I mean, there's one skink period on the field, and it is wrestle.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. The other one's KO'd, so he's going to come back because Spoopy's been really good at those. But now you cage dive onto the ball, right? No guts, no glory.
Yeah, why not?
Now, if Fed can stall one more turn, which it's looking like he can, he could do some real sketchy... No, because he can't sideline. Can Fed stall this out one more turn?
Probably.
It's going to be tough to do it diceless. That's for sure. A break here would go a long way to making this possible, but he doesn't get it.
No break.
So he is going to try to stall this out. That makes sense. He's basically forcing the lizards to 1 turn. Yeah, okay, this is pretty safe. Especially if he can get this break.
Yeah, if we get this break, it's super safe. No break, though. But it's still, I mean, it's stunty, so these dodges are all going to be 3+s, but
yeah,
that's
tackle, though.
It's a bunch of 3+s to tackle.
He can go around, actually. 1, 2, 3.
It's a bunch of 3+s, regardless. Which
Croc's
are not free.
tail doing Croc's tail things, but the loner is fine.
No. We are not cage diving.
No, I didn't think we were going to.
I don't think we were going to either, but...
Chooses to reroll that. Oh, well, never mind. He's still got 2 turns. I was miscounting the number of turns left. So Fed would have to stall this out for another 2 turns to make this really hard for the lizards, and that's going to be a big ask, I think.
Yeah.
The lizards are about to be all up in his grill. I don't know why he hasn't taken this 2 die.
All up ons.
Why wouldn't you take this 2 die first?
This one?
Yeah, that one. He could have gotten in better positions, I think.
Maybe.
Slightly better positions. See, I think Fed has to score here.
Well, that's what we said about the elves. Although, to be fair, we were probably right there.
Yeah, we were right there, weren't we? Goes for a tackle 1 die. Bold. I like it. Basically saying if I can take out this skink, if I Kaz that skink, then the odds of him being able to 2-turn go down significantly.
There's a level on the Storm Vermin. Spoiler, it gets Claw. Man, seeing Surge in chat and talking about Imperium reminds me of playing Assassin's Creed against him the other day, where he tried to
not doing very well on KO rolls.
Blitz my ball on an assassin, and the shadowing kept working and following the Chaos Warrior every time he dodged out, and then like after the 3rd time of that, he just gave up and turned around and used the blitz on this assassin that was shadowing him. So, stop following me, thunk! Like, it's super funny.
Funny.
Oh man, I love Imperium. Like, it just shadowed him and he, like 3 times, and he kept making the dodges, and then he had to use a reroll on one, didn't want to do the next one, and then just turned it, and then just was like, screw it, and just like right clicked on the assassin because he had declared the blitz at first, right, to do the dodges. Just clicked on the assassin. Stop it, thunk. All right. Well, 1 skink, or 2 skinks. The KO did return.
Spoopy doing slightly better on KO rolls than Fed. Quick Snap helps this tremendously.
Yeah, chance for the skink to just get the ball, although it is the wrestle skink. We'll see if Spoopy...
It's going to take a wrestle hit either way, so...
Yeah. I was going to say, we'll see if Spoopy does literally anything to defend the ball this time, because he hasn't yet so far this game.
Does not catch the 4+, but the scatter is good.
Well, I shouldn't say that. That's meaner than it or sounds meaner than it's meant to be. It turned like just respecting the two heads is something you need to be very aware of.
It's hard to do, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't respect.
Expended 3 Saurus to block a single line rat, which is not a great start. He gets the pickup though.
As we'll see later, I didn't respect Gishmal Gores enough in my game against Red Joker, and that stopped me from scoring on my drive, which caused me to lose. So
yeah, so I think your best bet here is actually to force it to be a red die, which you can do as long as that doesn't bonehead, and it doesn't.
You need the
guard guy there. That's not good enough. Nope. You can one die this.
From here.
You needed the guard guy to be 1 square back, yeah. Because Fed has no guard, so he had no alternative.
No, you could have, I guess, like you could have like eye caged that, I guess.
Though Fed just got in his own way from making this an easier dodge. Oh, he might just be. I don't like this. This is very passive.
Well, no. That's actually an annoying dodge because the Croxagore is prehensile tail.
But he didn't. Oh no, he's going in this way. Oh, but he failed the one and he snaked it. Yeah. No, it was a 3+.
No,
yes, because it was into 2 tackle zones.
Yeah.
So he 1 and 9 to that dodge. So now this is a pretty easy score. Yeah, you take out the gutter runner here, and then a knockdown is
that's not the gutter runner.
Wasn't the boat down there good enough?
No, because then the Saurus would have been in the way, right?
No, because you could move the Saurus afterwards. Oh, but he does not 1 and 9 on his 2 dodges and makes it.
Well, there you go.
Boat down there was good enough though.
Yes.
So it would be 2-2.
Yeah, that's pretty common. I can turn him up a bit. Or actually, it's easier if he turns himself up, frankly.
I don't know. I don't think I can turn myself up anymore.
Well, I'll try to turn you up then.
A rookie Lino got the MVP, but it's not the one who made the 2 catches.
Oh, disappointing. That is Crease Creep. Well, it's 2-2. And all of them came like at the end. The first half was very, very nothing, as they both failed to do much, and then a lot of that came in the second half. It was certainly very interesting. It was a fun game to watch.
So we're gonna use REBBL.net and go through the games real quick.
I think that's probably the plan. Let me open up that. And we'll full screen her here. Oops, not screenshot. Full screen it. There we go.
I am fading out. I think I'm coming down with something, but I will persevere for a little.
Here is week 7. We had Rowdy Rebel Rousers and Bull Canoe.
We continued to doubt Bull Canoe's capabilities, predicting the Nurgle would win, and he won 2-1 over the Nurgle.
Yeah.
Looks like both teams beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, the Bull Canoe got a bit more in terms of KOs, but less casualties.
Yeah, a lot less casualties.
Yeah, the casualties were on what? Well, one of them was Hthark the Unstoppable, which we induced, which is a fun player, but not a super crazy important casualty. One was on one on a Claw Palm and one on a Claw Mighty Blow are important ones to lose, but none of them were the ball
You've got
carrier.
my volume menu open on Discord, and now it's just on my camera.
Oh. Oops. That should be better. Yeah, so some injuries on both sides, but I guess 2-1 grind is probably the result here. Considering it was 2-1 and there was sort of roughly similar numbers of removals, but
I mean, it must be said, the Badly Hurts did come in on really important pieces on Volcanu, so it's impressive that he managed to win this one out. Maybe the Wizard doing some stuff. He did probably have a Wizard, so.
One touchdown on a Bull Centaur and one on the Agi Hobgoblin, whereas they came from a Nurgle Warrior on Atomic's side, which is good because that's the rookie one. It leveled him up, which is not rookie. It's the level 1. It's the lowest level one, so that's good having leveled him up.
And Bird was the one who's cast, which is a big deal for sure.
And then in Horny Cricket's first game in REL 1, having replaced someone who left the division, we didn't predict this one, or did we predict this one?
We did. We predicted the Necro would beat the Brets, and it was a tie.
Interesting. 52 blocks by the Battle Brothers is a lot. Is it blocks received or blocks given in REBBL.net?
It's blocks done.
52 blocks done is pretty big for a Bretonian team. 2 KOs, 2 Kaz, 4 KOs, 3 Kaz. So they were on the ghoul. The ball carrying ghoul is a groin strain and dead on the block zombie, whereas 2 Linos died for the Brets. So slightly more important result for the
you lose a zombie, you gain a zombie, you know?
Yeah, but the ghoul being out for a bit is more important than those peasants going away.
Yeah, that is a pretty big ghoul.
The Sacker ghoul certainly being annoying.
Hate My Hair getting 2 Kaz all by himself, classic fashion, and Arthur Pendragon responding in kind. We don't know we do know what the region was like, because there were 3 Kaz, there were 2 Kaz, and I guess he rolled 0 for regen.
Well, the ghouls don't have regen.
Oh, that's true. So he rolled just 1 failed regen. I forgot that the ghouls don't.
Yep, unfortunately. Otherwise they'd probably be too good. And Hate My Hair also picking up the TD as well, so 7 SPP for him.
And then Murdery Space Elf Troop,
Disciple of Davkul on his way back up to getting some points with a TD and a completed pass.
Just a second and check something.
Sure. Murdery Space Elf Troop and Archangel's Will. What did we predict here? Or you left me. Well, allow me to look it up then. But I have to open up this list that I have saved somewhere, and it's going to take so long. By the time you get back, it's probably going to be too late. We predicted this one had already happened? This already happened? This one had already happened, I guess, because I don't see it on the prediction list. Well, there you go. Motley wins this one 3-2. 15 armor breaks from Murdery Space Elf Troop. 5 KOs, 5 Kaz. Good lord. Witch Elf getting 4 Kaz in the MVP for 13 SPP. Yeah, it's kind of as we expected. I think we're worried about the Witch Elf doing Witch Elf things, and the Witch Elf doing crazy removal things. And the Witch Elf certainly popped off with 4 Kaz of their own, 1 rando from this Blitzer. But let's see what those turned out to be. Badly hurt on the Who Catches Unseen, so he's okay. Badly hurt on Yanari, so they're okay. Well, the new catcher that was bought very recently is just dead, and a rookie lineman is dead, and another one is movement busted. But who cares? So nothing that actually matters. Although the new catcher that got MVP and leveled, as well as getting a TD. So going from totally rookie to a level in 1 game followed by dying is certainly unfortunate.
Yep. But classic for Archangel, really.
Yeah, he's only allowed to keep a few players.
Level up taking death is the way it is for him. Halle Berry, it must be said, second game in a row, just going on an absolute tear.
4 Kaz and an MVP for 13 SPP. Yeah, absolutely crazy.
Not usually how elves rack up SPP, but
no, and 5 KOs as well. I'm more impressed that Archangel managed to get 2 touchdowns despite not having a team.
We don't know when these casts happen, but yeah.
Yeah. And thankfully, he catches unseen, took an injury, but is fine. It's just a badly hurt. And Yanari. So the ones that he cares about are at least okay. Although it's just sad that we lost that catcher. We had
good game for Motley.
We didn't predict that one, right?
No, we didn't.
Okay. And then All Stars of Chaos and Ramaset. What did we say?
Predicted the High Elves would beat the Chaos, and they did not, losing 2-1.
Wrong. 21 block. Oh, those are armor breaks. It's like 21 versus 4. What? No, those are armor breaks, not blocks. Yeah. Ramaset doing a fair number of blocks against the Chaos team for High Elves. Only getting 4 breaks out of it though. Took 5 KOs.
37 blocks and 4 breaks against Chaos is abysmal.
Yep.
Chaos are mostly armor 8, so that's it's not a good showing.
Took 5 KOs, but returned 1 Kaz. Although it looks like that was just Apoed because I see nothing down here. So not a whole lot in terms of damage, but 5 KOs makes it likely that it was difficult for Ramaset to actually defend, and then we 2-1 grinded out.
Yeah, who knows? He could have failed some clutch stuff. So level up his Blodge Guard Tackle Blitzer to get probably sidestep on a normal and the rookie catcher. So not a total wash as far as game.
Nope. But yeah, 5 KOs. And a 2-1 score makes it implies to me like they were just unable to stop the second score or the first score because of enough removals happening.
Yep, and 2 leveled beastmen for Locust, which is always nice. Can get some more block or some wrestle. He doesn't currently have a sacker.
He's got a wrestle dirty player beastman, but
a sacker that ain't. But yes.
Yeah, you could start a wrestle tackle guy. Although it turns out it's pretty difficult to get like Kaz SPP when you have just a wrestle as your only skill. So you'd have to feed him a few more touchdowns, but that's not terribly difficult when they're Agi 3.
It's a long-term project. Everything is with Chaos.
We have Felwith's Kawadadal and Grungy Desserts, which we watched, so we don't need to see that, but it's worth noting that I predicted the Elves and Shadorra predicted the Nurgle, basically just to give us a contentious pick, and then he was rewarded for it, of course.
Yes, and then we can't look at this one on Rebel.net, but that was just played. It's unconfirmed, and I think Scooby and the gang won 3-1 over Earth.
If I go back into the game briefly, you can see that there's an unconfirmed 3-1 game here. Oh, but it's a concede, so...
maybe...
I don't know what happened there, but it's not a thing we need to talk about.
Maybe a disconnect?
A disconnect or like a failure to schedule or who knows.
No, it was played. Like, there were 20 blocks aside, 3 Kaz each. And like, Ariscotia is Z-Zeta, so in Travel Scrabble, so I assume no one conceded.
Yeah.
But could have been like a failed internet.
Yeah, 5 armor breaks in the dice rolled. Yeah, disconnect, it looks like. Yeah, so I wonder how that's going to turn out, but it's hard to talk about how...
you played it twice.
It's hard to talk about how that went without being able to look at the results easily.
Z DC'd twice. His internet was just not working out or something.
That's super frustrating. Speaking of Travel Scrabble, we play this week, so we need to schedule our game. And then me versus the Red Joker. We both predicted the Red Joker. The Red Joker won. I mean, I had a reasonable chance at doing things. He had one bad turn with a couple of failed foul appearances, and then I took advantage of it, put myself in scoring position, but I didn't respect Gishmogors enough, and he just cage dove me to prevent me from scoring, and then he scored in his own drive, and there you go. That's the game. We did both kind of beat the crap out of each other, though, because
it looks like it.
Yeah, he took a badly hurt or broken ribs on a Nurgle Warrior. To a couple badly hurts on Rotters that didn't matter too much. I had a dead Rotter. I had a niggled Rotter who also ate the MVP and leveled and then rolled doubles, but I didn't want to keep a
niggled guard piece.
Yeah, I mean, I could have just taken like Dirty Player or something, but I already have a niggled Dirty Player. I didn't really want another one to keep a second niggled Rotter around, so I just fired him, and I was sad about that. Type 2 Weeping Beaties tried so hard to level this game. I gave him so many attempts to just try to get one Kaz because he's at 174, and he could not get that second Kaz, and then got badly hurt and never came back. So
rip.
maybe we'll get it in the next game. So shall we predict some games?
Yeah.
So Volcano versus this would be Horny Cricket, not admin do not schedule.
Yes, it just hasn't updated yet.
So we've got Horny Cricket missing his Grandpappy Z Ghoul. So with a 1600 TV versus Mongoose is Loose with a 1980 TV full Chorf team.
So Necro are going to get some inducements. It's probably Cheney. I feel like this one could go either way, to be honest.
I think it could. I feel like missing the Ghoul is probably relatively important because that's like the wrestle tackle strength sidestep piece is annoying. Hate My Hair is going to do Hate My Hair things versus Chorf's, but he's also niggled, so he's got to be careful with him and that piling on. You can't pile on too aggressively or the Chorfs are just going to hobgoblin foul you to death.
Yeah.
And they're going to
doesn't do anything.
They're going to chunk through the zombies probably pretty readily.
Barring regen, yeah. What do you think? I feel Chorf in your heart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I have Necro in my heart because I don't like to choose Chorfs, but I think my brain wants Chorfs.
Cool. You go Chorfs. I'll vote on. I'll continue to back the newbie and say that.
I mean, that'll be a fun one to watch too. You know,
Horny Cricket will back. Yeah. Well, we can't watch it because it's off.
Yeah, I know, but that'll be a good match. You know, the current Super Bowl champion versus a previous Super Bowl champion. The only person to have won it more than once, in fact, but with different teams.
Yep. Then we have the Rowdy Rebel Rousers versus Murdery Space Elf Troop. So Motley versus Atomics. Motley's sitting on 40k extra, so he's at 1840.
2320 and 1840.
With no bench. Exactly no bench. So 1840 versus 2320. Yeah.
This is some big Nurgle.
If Atomics doesn't drop anything, he is going to give nearly 500k inducements to an 1800 TV team.
That's 440k.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yep.
Yikes. I mean, I know Nurgle do well, but do they do that well?
I mean, they do well. I want to check.
I kind of like Motley for this.
I want to see if there's any. He doesn't have extra cash. No, he has no extra cash. Let me look at Motley's team again. That's a lot of inducements. Yeah, like double agi.
I mean, that's like wizard. You could go like wizard double babe. What's his face? Hypno gaze, bro. Like you probably can't go double babe. You might be able to go single babe.
Yeah, this is weird. A single babe. Yeah, this is on the one hand, Dark Elves are the team, and the elf team that Nurgle are probably the most okay with, but that's a lot of stats. The Claw Mighty Blow is certainly a thing. Bird is a very good thing. Huge bench, so we're likely to just foul that witch if she ever piles on. Especially since she's niggled. Like, that witch just can't afford to pile on ever this game. Unless it's like super good. But I like Wizard and double Agi 5 is gonna be real awkward for the Nurgle to deal with, I think.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Is that your very long-winded way of saying you want Dark Elves?
No, it's my very long-winded way of saying I don't know who to pick.
You have to pick I'm going to fall asleep.
I'll pick Dark Elves. And then I'll wonder why I picked Dark Elves next week when we talk about it.
Cool, we both picked
Battle Brothers and the All-Stars of Chaos. So we've got 1670 Brets, 1840 Chaos. We got 2 guard on behalf of the Bretonians. No extra cash to go. They've got the pretty serious blitzers. A lot of 4 blodge. 2 of them are agi. 2 of them are step. Then the Chaos have precisely 2 tackle.
Yep. So it's going to be Caloric with a wizard.
I like Caloric with a wizard over a Chaos team with 1 palm and only 2 tackle. Frankly. There's a couple Claw Mighty Blow, but only 2 of them are also attached to Tackle. One of them is a Warrior, which is slow, and only one of those is Palm, which is the reliable way of removing the good players. I like Brets with a Wizard here, frankly.
Yeah, all right, I buy it.
Archangel's Will.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Caloric pull that, or Locust pull that out, though. He's been kind of on an upswing.
No, me either.
Archangel's Will versus...
if he just removes players, he'll have a good shot, but, that's what he has to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this case I've got to go with Not for Science. He had a rough week last week, but his team is totally intact, and he's got the tools he needs to deal with Archangel's nonsense. Archangel's going to have a Wizard, but that's a lot less exciting versus other elves.
Yeah, and it's like top of the table elves versus bottom of the table elves. Like if
top of the table elves have a human blitzer, and human blitzers are very good at killing elves. Yeah, in particular wood elves, actually.
He's definitely a human blitzer because he's even agi busted to complete the role play.
And a natural one turner to the total lack of a natural one turner. So I think that sure, he's gonna have some cool inducements, but I don't think Archangel's gonna have an easy time here.
No, I gotta pick Not for Science as well. And then Ramaset and Zeta, Voltrex Vanguard, and Ars Gotia. Without the game confirmed, it's hard to know exactly what this team looks like, but we can get some idea. We'll have that Beastman back, presumably. So 1850 versus 1950 High Elves.
A single tackle, and it's on a Chaos Warrior.
Yeah, that's rough. Although the frenzied sidestep Juggernaut is sort of like false tackle. The stand firm strength guard Beastman is going to be, is annoying. The Tentacles Warrior could potentially do a thing.
Do you think if I just keep picking Ramesset, he'll eventually win?
Yeah, sure.
I think Ramesset has single-handedly lost me the most points.
I'll pick Ramesset.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ars Gochi gets 100k, which is something.
He has no Claw Palm, which is also something. Yeah, all right. I will go with the...
I think the Blood, there's going to be too much dodge to deal with. Ooh.
Grungy Desserts versus Fear and Bloating. This is a big one.
Here's a
big Nurgle versus way bigger Nurgle.
Big chunk. Oh, well, I picked bigger Nurgle.
Well, one of them is missing a Nurgle Warrior, which is a big deal, of course.
Doesn't really matter. I picked bigger Nurgle.
Well, yeah, the smaller Nurgle is the one predictably missing a Chaos or a Nurgle Warrior.
If playing Nurgle with a very low TV Nurgle team this season has taught me anything, it's that low Nurgle lose to big Nurgle all the time.
It's not that. I mean, it's a big difference TV wise, but like they're not that much smaller. This is going to be a fucking bloodbath, though. One of them has a Killer Pestigorn, one does not. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Stout.
The bigger Nurgle team that has the Killer Pestigorn has the full complement of Nurgle Warriors and also slightly less injured. Oh no, they're both movement 3. Staticus. He's also at the top of the div, so it's hard to predict against him at this point. And then me versus Travel Scrabble.
I predict Travel Scrabble.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Me too. But hey, so you know the thing that we've talked about where he doesn't buy another Flesh Golem because he doesn't want to not have a wizard? Doesn't work against me. I get 50k against him. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, I think I have a chance. And I think I will always have a chance. And it's all about Muttley. Like if I can target Muttley and Muttley goes out, then I think I can win it. If I don't, then I don't think I can, frankly. So I don't hate this match as much as I've hated other ones this season, but I still think it should probably go to Travel Scrabble on average. But I think I have a better chance in this one than I did against some of my other games this season. But there you go. Let's go into Div 2, shall we?
Div 2A. You gotta say the A part.
A. Is that what you wanted?
Rats versus Lizards was a tie. We predicted the Rats would win, and we were wrong.
Yep.
Ish.
Meanest, Greenest Boys and Gourmet Governors. You predicted the Orcs, I predicted the Vampires, and the Orcs won because they did this to the Vampires.
58 blocks, Wait, what? No, 34 blocks, 20 armor. Oh, it was just one of those games where they just immediately removed the entire team. It was only K. Oh no, and
eight KOs, 4 Kaz, and then there was like a rock on one of the vampires like super early, if I recall correctly.
So MNG on the support vamp, or no, the movement up. Yeah,
I watched a little bit of this live, and like, so I heard him talking about it. There was like a rock on one of the vamps super early. By the time I tuned in, there were 4 players on the field for the vampires. Like, Too Awesome just kind of made the vampires not exist.
Yep.
It was it was interesting to watch, but I think it would be boring to cast, right? But I would recommend watching Lumi's play of it, because I like his response to how things were going. He still had a chance, and he tried to go for stuff.
Too Awesome leveling his troll on an MVP, presumably getting guard. One more guard for the orc team is always nice. So that orc team is going to be a thing to worry about as we move into the second half of this season.
A couple thrall levels for Lumi and a dead thrall, but the thrall levels aren't super important.
I'm hating this week off for the Div 5 folks, but I did find out that I'm probably... I know I should be. Excuse me, I'm probably getting the very last wild card into play-in, so I will probably be bringing my rats into that.
Fun.
Yeah, I mean, I somehow have very developed gutters, pretty developed storm vermin, and 2 bench, and kick and dirty player. I don't really know. The rats just keep not dying.
Rats just keep not being dead.
Yeah, I keep out-punching people, so.
Then we had yield guard and bring out your undead. What did we say here? Or had this one?
We said that the Nurgle would win, and they did.
We're right. Weird. We haven't done that well this week, have we?
You haven't done that well. I'm doing fine.
We've only predicted 2 different matches, but I was wrong for both of them, so.
Yes, which is a 4-point spread.
Yeah. Turns out this gain point, lose point thing means any contentious matches are just super detrimental. Anyway. Let's see. So we had both punched each other quite a bit, but the Nurgle got 22 armor breaks, which turned into 5 KOs and 4 Kaz.
They did eat an AV bust on their Nurgle warrior, which is, of course, pretty terrible. So Scourge has just significantly reduced his lifespan. The rest of it was rotters, so not a big deal, and a badly hurt on the Beast of Nurgle. So actually quite a bit of damage coming in on the Nurgle team, and not of the important stuff regenning.
Only 2 Kaz inflicted by bringing your undead, so some of those must be like failed dodges or dirty player fouls or whatever.
Probably dirty player fouls, yeah.
But then a lot of the injuries on behalf of the Khemri seem to have gotten better, because they took 5 Kaz, but there's only 3 here. So a couple of them average. So 2 of them, well, I mean, there's only 4 players with, or it's only, do they all have regen?
Every Khemri player has regen.
The skeletons don't. Oh yes, they do. Why did I think the skeletons didn't? I don't know. That's accurate. So a couple got better. But that's still enough for a removal, that drive. And with 3 skeletons not getting better, that leaves you with 2 sort of disposable pieces. And especially considering bringing out your undead are a team that is entirely skeletons for some reason. Like all of the levels are on skeletons. Yes. Removing the skeletons is actually kind of bad.
Yes, skellies would be incredibly bad if they did not have regen. They are still worse than zombies.
I don't play Khemri, and when I play undead, I only ever buy zombies, so I just don't really know what skeletons do. But yeah, like enough removals that it was probably pretty easy for Yayo to defend and then score on his own drive, depending on those casualties occurred, etc. But 1-0 there. Then we have Charlestown Chiefs and Brick and Mortary. We predicted that the orcs would take this, and it was a tie. Steer breaking out helmet again, and the chainsaw. Brick and Mortary getting a boatload of blocks, but a similar number of armor breaks to the lizards. I suppose that makes a little bit of sense.
It means they were mostly punching Saurus. Well, no, it doesn't really make that much sense, given that there's more Mighty Blow floating around for the orcs. Especially piling on.
2 KOs, 1 Kaz inflicted for the Saurus, the lizards. 3 KOs, 1 Kaz inflicted for Fiction and the Orcs. So similar numbers.
Not a lot of, well, yeah, Fiction's breaks weren't really amounting to anything, and he wasn't really getting them to begin with. So not a great game for the Orcs. It looks like.
One injury on a skink, and 2 badly hurts on Orc linemen. So like almost nothing that was really relevant. I mean, the KOs certainly occurred in that game. So depending on what those KOs were, those could have been important, but KOs also come back.
Number on both sides.
Yeah, and they also come back, which kind of explains to me why 1-1 is probably a thing, right? They both scored on their own drive, and there you go. But we have 3 skink levels, an MVP, a touchdown, and a completion of a pass, which you don't see too often on stunties.
It is a 4+ into a 3+, so.
Yeah, but the three sets of levels there from the skinks, so other 60k instantly tacked on to Charlestown Chiefs. We would love to see those on the Saurus that don't have block, but you can't have everything.
Yes. Hefe should have gotten a Kaz. What a slacker. And then we have Cogs of, or no.
Rolling Red and Spoony Bard.
We predicted the Orcs were gonna, or no. I predicted the Dark Elves were gonna win. You predicted the Lizards.
Everything's gone horrible. But this was another one of those ones where like we both kind of like the Lizards, and then you were like, but I'll make it contentious and pick the other one. And that's
no. This is me going like, I think the Dark Elves should win this, but every time I say that, Rolling Red just like crushes someone. So I picked the Dark Elves, but I was like, I'm pretty sure Rolling Red's gonna beat the shit out of them, and he did. He just lost. He cast 4 of them, killing the kicker and
7 KOs too.
The blood step diving tackle one.
Also 7 KOs, yet still lost 3-1. That's 10 removals, and on 11 players.
10 removals on 22 breaks. That's about average, really.
It's a lot
8
of
breaks for the Dark Elves, resulting in 6 removals, which is incredible. So Dark Elves punching back.
No, this is a very bad week for me for predictions, but I've had several of those so far. So I mean, I think it's over now.
I mean, that's what we said last season, and then I just like got lulzy at the end and started like throwing matches until you caught up. So,
I
just have to slow and steady wins the race, Ben. Come on. Your spirit animal is probably something turtle-esque. So,
I think it's a sloth.
Yeah, it is.
No. But Frank,
or like one of those bears from the toilet paper commercials. I don't know.
The Charmin bears. It's soft. But you got toilet paper flakes all over your furry ass.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. Not sure what recess of my mind that came from, but it did. Yeah. Anyway.
Badly hurt Croxagore, badly hurt Skink, badly hurt Blitzer, broken jaw Blitzer, badly hurt lineman, and a dead kick lineman, which is kind of unfortunate because kick is pretty useful.
He also ate the MVP.
But the Elves take it 3-1, which is impressive considering how many players they got removed. But if they came after the touchdowns, turns out it doesn't matter.
Yep. And then to get you some points, Chaos versus Dwarves, we predicted the Chaos would win, and they...
Great. I've only lost 3 points.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this gives me 1 back. But it also gives you 1, which is the more important bit. Yeah. Another chainsaw, Flint Churnblade, which I think is the first time I've ever seen Flint Churnblade taken for Cogs
despite
of War.
His AV9, I believe he's AV9.
I think he's
badly hurt.
Pretty sure he's just a Longbeard. But I don't actually know because I don't think I've ever actually seen him taken.
Well, he's a Longbeard without tackle.
Strength 3 edgy 2. No, he's AV8.
No, how fast is he?
5.
Moving 5's not bad.
So he's like a troll slayer or a runner? No, runner's a 6. So he's like a troll slayer with a chainsaw?
He's like a troll slayer with a chainsaw and block. Troll slayers start with block. No, they do.
They do. I don't know if Flint Churnblade has block or not.
He does, yeah. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've never seen him taken before, but it makes sense because, Orevert has a bribe stadium there in his stadium, and he's lost his death roller because Spoopy is a bad human being and killed the Coltrane.
Yes. That said, we predicted that Big Chuck would win because Big Chuck has 4 Claw Mighty Blow to Oververt's 0. So he did.
And it was also a Chaos team that outguarded a Dwarf team. So like higher strength, Claw Mighty Blow, guard. The Dwarves are going to have a rough time. And it looks like they did.
Despite all of that, nearly kept up in blocks, very much kept up in removals, if not armor breaks.
You get a couple
10 armor
KOs.
breaks resulting in 5 removals is pretty average. Chuck got 16 breaks resulting in 6 removals, which is below average.
Well, maybe Flint Churnblade did a thing.
Well, Flint Churnblade was never oh, he got cast. Never mind, right? So no, not expulsed because he was dead. Clicheos got expelled, so they lost their dirty player to some.
Yep. But one injury was on a rookie beastman. One was on a Mighty Blow Claw warrior, which hurts. But Clicheos managing to take it 1-0. Frankly, it was going to be hard for Oververt to win this one. A Death Roller team without the Death Roller, and then
gonna have a tough time. So the Chaos took that one home, and then we have Thick, Rich, and Creamy versus Average Joe's Gym. We thought the Necro would beat the High Elves, and Duberman pulled this one out with no team, despite taking 4 badly hurt.
Yep. He was going into this with multiple loners. Took 4 Kazes and 3 KOs to the 3 KOs and 1 Kaz that Thick, Rich, and Creamy took. But that Kaz looks like it got better.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy getting 22 breaks into 6 removals is a bit sad, certainly. But, these things happen sometimes.
What about 7 breaks into 4 removals?
Yeah, I mean, that's not that insane. If any of there is a Mighty Blow piece, so that's not like you expect 42% of removals, barring Mighty Blow, to be, or 42% of armor breaks to be removals, barring Mighty Blow.
Yeah, so that's not crazy, I guess.
That's not crazy. 22 into 6 is pretty crazy. That's some serious stun dice.
Badly hurt on a blodge step, badly hurt on a block, badly hurt on a block, badly hurt on a loner. At least none of them were the important pieces. Like they weren't the catchers, they weren't the Mighty Blow, they weren't the wrestle, they weren't the leap. So we still had the tools to do things, and we had some inducements as well here. So maybe we could convert those into getting an extra touchdown or over Jimmy. 1 expulsion for Thick, Rich, and Creamy as well. Only 25 blocks versus 50 or 49 blocks, but
a lot of blocks for the Necro. So the Necro were definitely maximizing their hits, keeping the elves tied up and getting their punches in, but just weren't getting rewarded for it. So,
yeah, with a couple more removals from those armor breaks, that might have been a different game because they were getting a lot of blocks, but not as many rewards as you would have expected, I think. All the KO or all the injuries for the Necro got better. I mean, there's only 1, but not able to convert, and probably because we didn't get as many armor breaks as we'd like, frankly. And then we can move on to the predictions.
Yep, Superfed versus Jimmy Burrito. That's a spicy one.
That is.
1450 Skaven against 1620. Skaven are coming in full strength.
So that is just straight up a wizard, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
They're coming in full strength they have 7 players, but by full strength you mean they have all their positionals alive.
Yes.
For once. We finally have a claw, which isn't huge against the Necro. It's just going to be kind of a stun machine, if anything. I
mean, stunning a flesh golem if you get a good shot on it isn't the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's also relevant against every piece on the team.
But
it's at least as well. It's not as good as Mighty Blow, but it's.
That was a lot of talk for me, just saying Mighty Blow is better, but you don't give up doubles on the Blitzer. Yes. But Proxy Page can still Mighty Blow, piling on tackle, which can go after the ghouls. The Wrestle Tackle 2 heads slightly less effective than it was against the Skink because they're going to be uphills against anybody on the Necro team versus 1 dies on those Skinks.
Yes, though Jimmy Burrito does not have sure hands.
No, he does not.
I think the rats win.
And the one werewolf is niggled, which is pretty terrifying. The one Mighty Blow werewolf, I should say, and it's also the only tackle. There is a diving tackle, but it's a flesh golem. so like there's one tackle on the Necro team, and it is probably going to be a big target for that Mighty Blow piling on piece. So yeah, I think I like the rats as well. Average Joe's Gym versus Cogs of War. So High Elves with a Wizard versus Death Rollerless Death Roller Dwarves. On the one hand, the Dwarves have tackle everywhere. On the downside, they don't have the things that Dwarves normally want in this matchup. Like, they don't have guard, they don't have a lot of Mighty Blow. They have some on the Troll Slayers.
Yeah. I mean, I think the High Elves should do fairly well here. They're going to take some damage probably, because Troll Slayers are nice because they get kind of that reliable second hit to get the knockdown and to roll that armor. But there's no piling on. Most of the hits are going to be coming in on block AV8 linemen, which Duberman actually has quite a few of. So
yeah, and the bigger thing for me is that on offense, they have no way of defending against they have no way of offending against the elves, because they have no guard or anything anywhere. So the elves are just going to be able to like do elf things whenever they want to, and the dwarves aren't really going to be able to stop it. So like the defense
elves have as much as the dwarves.
Yeah, so the elves are going to have a pretty easy time defending, and even if they don't have an easy time offending because they're taking punches or whatever, I think the elves will have an easy time defending, which make it is probably going to be normally the hard part against dwarves, is elves. So yeah, I like the elves. Big Chuck and Rolling Red. This will be fun.
I think Big Chuck will win.
I mean, probably. Turns out Claw Mighty Blow is good against lizards. There are 4 of them.
Yep.
And the Fogmire Fen Beasts don't. Well, they have more than they used to. Certainly. But I like Chaos versus lizards in general, and there isn't a huge bench for the Fogmire Fen Beasts, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So one bench. The lizards...
If a bench doesn't matter, that's the thing. Like, counting bench for lizards is just kind of like a futile effort, because if you take out a Saurus and it's replaced by a skink, like, that is technically better than it not being replaced by anything, but it's not a lot better than that.
That's true. It's just sort of a habit of mine.
Because like a lot of teams will try to chew through the skinks to kind of ruin the lizard's ability to handle the ball, but Chaos don't need to do that. They can just chew directly through the Saurus.
And only 110k in defense is not enough for a wizard or a Slibbly, which would probably be what tips this in more lizard favor.
Yeah.
Delves and Charlestown Chiefs. So that witch elf is going to be a skink hunting machine.
You're thinking of the other.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I am. Yes, I am.
There is a skink hunting machine, though. There is a Mighty Blow tackle strength 4 blitzer.
Yeah, so 1 assist and 3.
They're down
dive.
their diving tackle blitzer, which is a big deal actually.
It's
diving
also guard.
Tackle is so good against skink. I mean, yeah, the guard is also super relevant, but
Blodge Step guard diving tackle is a big piece to be missing, yeah.
Dark Elves are incredibly annoying for lizards to deal with. Lizards don't usually have a lot of tackle, and this team is no exception. Lizards, like standard blitzer development without anything spicy, like Blodge Step diving tackle or Blodge Step tackle, is really hard for lizards to deal with.
Mm-hmm. There is one tackle on a movement 5 Saurus.
Yeah, I like the lizard, or I like the Dark Elves a lot here.
Yeah, so do I. This diving tackle piece being out is certainly unfortunate, but once again, I think the lizards are gonna, like you said, we'll have a hard time with the Blodge, and there isn't enough TV or difference to add a wizard or Slibbly, which are things that matter. One tackle. Croxior can certainly do things, but like one tackle, a couple Saurus with no block, skinks that are likely to get hunted down. I think I like the Dark Elves. Brick and Mortary versus Ye Old Guard. 1920 Orcs versus 1860 Nurgle. So this, to me, is going to come down to the guard differential, frankly. If the Orcs know what they're doing, and frankly, Fiction generally knows what he's doing.
Bold statement.
they can make the blocks for the Nurgle really, really hard because they just sort of bully them with strength 4 and guard. You put them in the right place, and then the Nurgle can't really get the blocks they want. And then with the blocks,
this is also a 14-man orc team to a 12-man Nurgle team. Like, regen is going to matter. But as soon as fiction starts chewing through these rotters, like rotters are kind of the backbone of most Nurgle teams, and in particular are the backbone of this one, as they are 2 of the 6 guard pieces. So while they start reasonably even guarded, the orcs have more strength, and the orcs will be more sturdy most of the time because there's, like you said, there's not a lot of claw mighty blow.
I forgot about the double guard rotters, which make it a bit easier for the Nurgle, but
the orcs are technically outguarded, but not in the long run, and certainly not in terms of strength. Like, there's 2 strength.
As long as the orcs are careful about not giving up too many sort of there's no claw palm, which is a big deal, but there is a claw mighty blow tackle frenzy, which is annoying. And
the frenzy can be a hindrance too. It's going to be harder.
That's true, especially with guard position.
Lord Doggo. Yeah, so he's going to have to blitz probably with Lord Doggo, and that's going to be a liability in itself because he's only moving 4. I like the orcs here, but it could go horribly wrong if Claw Mighty Blow pops, obviously.
Yeah, I do like the orcs, but it could easily go the other way. Scoots being movement 5 really sucks, but two heads, wrestle, tackle, strip ball is nothing to shake a stick at. There is sure hands, but wrestle is a thing. And it's not terribly difficult to get. Oh, well, there's a bunch of guard again, which makes that more annoying. But and with the bench, the orcs are probably not too afraid to foul. If there's ever a Nurgle warrior on the ground and one of them is niggled, which is kind of scarier. Yeah. So
what do you think?
I like the orcs, but I think it's like
this is like one of the closer games, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Bring out your undead and gourmet governors.
I think Lumi probably beats Khemri. Khemri rely on their big pieces being relevant, and vampires are really good at making big pieces irrelevant.
Yeah, the same. Frankly,
Lumi still has a team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only down 1 vamp. He's fine.
Yeah. And it means he actually gets 110k. Not crazy useful, but you could spend 40k to get a wizard if you want.
So the one thing is that Vamps aren't a lot faster than Khemri. They're like faster. Every team basically is, other than Dwarves. But
Vamps are slow, which is the annoying bit. But the problem is only one Tomb Guardian has guard, so the other 3 are relatively easy to like neutralize when you're trying to do like hits on the ball or whatever. And the one that does have guard can be hypno-gazed. So yeah, I mean, yep. I think I like Vamps just because the 3 crazy Vamps that exist. Frankly,
agreed.
As a rookie Vamp team, Khemri probably, but as a Vamp team,
I mean, that would just be a fail off. Like, that's 2 teams that are their own worst enemy. It's like which will fail the least hard, and that team wins. Is inevitably what happens there. Yeah,
but now Strength 5 Vamp, Movement 7 Vamp, Mighty Blow Tackle Vamp, Blodge Step Pro Vamp. Like, there's a lot of reliability on the vampires now.
Yep. And then we have 2 Awesomes 2130 Orc team versus Spoopy's much smaller Lizard team. So he's going to get Slibbly. He's going to get a Wizard. He's
down a Saurus, though. So even with Slibbly, he'll just be at normal Saurus levels.
Normal levels of Saurus, yes.
We're at optimal levels of Saurus today. Optimal levels of Saurus is 11 Saurus.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be the Orcs. This team is so fucking stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guard, 3 strength 5 pieces. Like, they have the more strength than the lizards do, more guard than the lizards do. They have a sort of skink killer piece in the fat green boy and in tenacious green boy. The skinks are not going to really be able to stop the Moomin 6 Agi 4 thrower lineman.
Tenacious Green Boy even has Dauntless for hunting Saurus.
Yeah, if he really wants to. Yeah, like that. It's just such
he's going to need assists probably because there's so much guard kicking around.
Such a huge TV differential to overcome. Like, you just
and Sacrificial Green Boy is going to be very tough for the Lizards to sack, being Blodge Step movement 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the orcs for this. I mean, I think that the lizards have a game. Like, they've got 400k, which is the ideal amount of inducements for lizards. They've got more than that, but...
And lastly, we'll go take a look at the leaderboards for those 2 divs. So recall that Z-Zeta and Travel Scrabble are probably a little bit different because that game didn't get confirmed / uploaded.
Travel Scrabble actually has another win, so he's at 15 points, which only puts him in 3rd because Div 1 is really tight.
Yep. Not for Science, Staticus, and Travel Scrabble, all very close to each other, but then the gap jumps down to Red Joker at 13, Mongoose at 12, Atomics at 11, Molly at 10. So we're starting to see some pulling away. The top 3, not for Science, Staticus, and Travel Scrabble, are starting to pull away of the others, but there's still quite a bit of a fight for that 4th spot, I think, between the next couple coaches. Then we have me, Locust, Archangel down at the bottom. Horny Cricket is actually higher because he inherited Tessa's record.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty poorly this season, but I was kind of expecting to, frankly.
Yes, you kind of were. And then we have Div 2A. Everything is played here, so we can look at things as they are. 2 Awesome, a full win ahead of Superfed and Fiction.
And Big Chuck.
And Big Chuck, for that matter. 1 TDD is the only difference between those 3 coaches, and probably some like head-to-head, but whatever. Yeah. Lumi not out of it at all at 13, with 4 touchdown differential as well. So any of these 5, I would expect. I would keep an eye on. Yayo, not entirely out of it either. Obviously, Jimmy Burrito and Duperman kind of in the same pouch. Like 1 win and a lucky loss from someone in the top could put them more in contention, but they're at the point in the season where they are starting to rely on their opponent to lose rather than...
I think it's going to be a little hard to dislodge 2 Awesome at this point, but there's 4 people fighting for those top 2 playoff spots, or the second 2 playoff spots, I should say, between Superfed, Fiction, Big Chuck, and Luminous at the moment. And I will bring up the title screen. We will say goodbye, and we'll let you go to bed. How does that sound?
I am dying, so...
I'm starting to die, I think.
We're also getting a massive snowstorm, and I have to go to a stupid work event tomorrow morning, so...
Good. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We will be back next Wednesday, I assume.
Yeah, I've got nothing going on.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Probably slightly different time, because this is always just sort of arbitrary when we happen to be home. That's going to be us this week. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We will see you next time. And until then, I'm the Steakmittens.
And I'm Shadorra.
See you later, folks.